Good morning. I'd like to call this Municipal Planning Commission meeting to order. The Municipal Planning Commission is conducting this meeting in person via conference call in accordance with the Municipal Government Act, Section 199. Council chambers is now open for public attendance in person. However, members may still join meetings remotely using our current teleconference process. As per Wheatland County Policy 7.13, members of the public are not permitted to speak unless the Commission agrees to hear from them. If the Commission agrees to allow the public to speak, the Chair will call upon specific individuals at that time. Please note, this call is being recorded and will be uploaded to our website and/or social media. For any individuals using the conference call line, we ask that you mute your phone to eliminate background noise. Everyone has a right to be present at Municipal Planning Commission meetings. Any attendees that are considered disruptive to the progression of this meeting may be removed at the discretion of the Chair as per the Municipal Government Act, Section 198. We thank you for your cooperation and understanding. We have an agenda in front of us. Are there any deletions, additions? If not, can I have somebody move the agenda? Commissioner Clausen.
I move the agenda as presented.
All in favor? That is passed. We have the adoption of the unapproved minutes of September 9th, 2025. Were there any errors found? If not, can I have somebody move them? Yes.
I'll move the minutes as presented.
Thank you, Commissioner Laprise. All in favor? That is passed. This moves us on to development permit applications. DP 2025-073.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Suzanne Hayes, Development Officer. I have 3 applications to present this morning, beginning on page 7 of the agenda package. The first application is DP 2025-073, Recreation Major, for the construction and operation of a new outdoor rodeo infield and tractor pull lane. The location plan is found on page 16. It is located within the hamlet of Carsland on the west edge of Carsland, approximately 230 meters west of McKinnon Drive on the north side of Township Road 221A, or Railway Avenue West. We circulated to surrounding landowners within the entire hamlet. We didn't receive any responses. Alberta Transportation was circulated and they issued an exemption from the permit requirements. Fire Services, internally we circulated, Fire Services said they should have 2 things in place: signage so people know how to exit in the event of an emergency, and they need to maintain proper aisle spaces for people to exit. That should be a minimum of 1 meter and free of obstacles. Community Services said that this proposal will move the temporary use of the tractor pull and rodeo arena from the community park, which will make room for other approved park developments on this site. The BMX mountain bike and multi-use pathway, these 2 additional new facilities support the top priorities of the open space, recreation, and culture master plan. Operations said that 3 gravel approach applications must be submitted, 1 for each of the existing approaches, to allow for the upgrading and accesses and installation of stop signage. Planning said that the proposal aligns with the objectives of the MDP, which encourages high-quality recreational facilities that meet the needs of residents across socioeconomic backgrounds. The location of the development is consistent with Policy 3.10, which encourages sustainable recreational opportunities and exploring the reuse of land for new parks and recreation facilities. Agriculture Environment said that the controlling of weeds during the project construction will keep them from spreading to adjacent areas. A site plan and aerial photos are found on pages 17 through 21. So the application is for a new outdoor rodeo infield, which is shown here in the lighter yellow color, and a tractor pull lane shown on the west side, the long gold laneway looking there. It's to provide a permanent location for the future public agricultural events and various private events. Construction activities will include grading of approximately 1.52 acres with the addition of topsoil and sand to create the infield. The tractor pull lane will consist of an exposed clay surface. Stock fencing and bleachers are currently rented as required but may be purchased in the future. Currently, the site includes 4 ball diamonds. If we go to the aerial photo on page 20, we can see the ball diamonds there. It also includes a concession, maintenance shop, and washroom facilities. The existing ball diamonds will remain operational, with the new development being located outside the ball diamond areas. A traffic impact assessment, stormwater management plan, and wetland impact assessment were submitted in support of the application. The traffic letter addressed anticipated visitor volume, parking capacity, and shared use. A swept path analysis was conducted to assess the adequacy of roadways, driveways, and parking areas for larger vehicles, including fire trucks and trucks with trailers. It confirmed that both fire truck and truck with a trailer can maneuver without any conflicts. With an estimation that 400 attendees would require 200 parking stalls, available parking supply should be sufficient to accommodate peak events. This includes 137 stalls in the baseball parking lot, 89 overflow stalls at the community center, and 24 stalls along McKinnon Drive, providing a surplus of approximately 50 stalls. Presently, there are no sidewalks or pathways to connect the overflow parking to the event site, and patrons would need to walk along the side of Railway Avenue. Upon review of the traffic memo, Sedulous recommended that a traffic accommodation strategy be submitted to ensure the safe passage of pedestrians. However, the County Transportation Department is requiring a more permanent solution and is recommending that a pathway be constructed to allow the pedestrian traffic to walk safely. So if we look on page 23, we can see the proposed pathway location going from the community center parking lot to the baseball diamonds there. This has been added as a condition. The stormwater management plan was submitted and reviewed. It indicated there is a marginal increase of runoff between the pre-development and post-development of the site, and the runoff will be discharged into the existing ditch. Also, that it provided an erosion and sediment control plan that should be implemented, and it has been noted in the conditions. A wetland assessment was conducted. I'm just going to bring up a photo showing the wetland on site in blue there. The assessment noted the changes to the site plan have been made to ensure that there will be no disturbance to the wetland. In addition to avoiding disturbance, construction will be timed to minimize impacts to existing nesting avian species. The wetland assessment notes the identification of existing noxious weeds, and the applicant should follow the recommendations in the wetland assessment for control measures. So these have been noted in the conditions as well. Staff's recommendation is found on page 37. No, not page 37. Thank you. No, sorry, did you say 8? 8. Thanks. Thank you. So the recommendation considers the following. The proposal aligns with the MDP policies and LUB requirements. The lot grading of the site has been designed to support minimal additional surface discharge of stormwater. Conditions are in place regarding pathway construction to connect overflow parking with the recreation area. The existing wetland will be protected from disturbance, and no concerns were raised by surrounding landowners or county staff. So staff's recommendation is that MPC approve DP 2025-073 for recreation major, which includes the outdoor arena, a tractor pull lane, and the design and construction of a pedestrian pathway, subject to the conditions noted. Condition 7 states that a DA may be required, which would be the case if alternate funding for the pathway cannot be obtained. And condition 9 has been added for directional signage in case of an emergency. Condition 10 states that they must submit 3 approach applications for the upgrading of the existing approaches for the installation of signage. So MPC has the standard 3 response options to consider. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Suzanne. MPC's wishes.
I'll move that Municipal Planning Commission approve DP 2025-073 for a recreation major facility subject to the following conditions from 1 to 16.
Thank you, Commissioner Bigger. Any discussion? Yes, sorry, Commissioner LaPriest.
I just have one kind of question. The ball diamonds, so where the parking, are the ball diamonds controlled by the Ag Society as well? Do they do the bookings for that? Or how will they make sure that there isn't a tournament when there's a bigger event going on to accommodate all the?
I don't know who does the bookings for the ball diamonds, but it is anticipated that the two events will not be at the same time.
The Ag Society does both events, yep.
Okay.
Any more discussion? Not seeing any. I will call the vote. All in favor? That is passed. We will move on to DP 2025-161.
The second application begins on page 25 of the agenda package. It is for home-based business type 3 for sheet metal fabrication and safety supplies. The location plan is found on page 31. It is located approximately 7 kilometers northwest of Carsland on the northeast corner of Township Road 222 and Range Road 264. It was circulated to surrounding landowners within 1 mile. I did receive a few phone calls with questions, but no written responses. The applicant has contacted the adjacent landowners to the north and east who are now satisfied with the screening plan and have no concerns with the proposed HBB. The Western Irrigation District was circulated as there is a canal that runs along the east boundary of the parcel. They have no concerns or objections. They request a 30-meter setback from the property line for all permanent structures, and it appears that the drawing is within that setback. Fire Services said based on the size of the shop and the nature of the work, a fire inspection should be a condition on the DP. It has been added. Planning said that the proposal appears to align with the commercial objectives of the municipal development plan, which aims to promote the growth and diversification of employment opportunities, including home-based businesses. The proposed development is a type 3 HBB, aligning with policy 3.7, which promotes home-based businesses as an economic development opportunity that mitigates demand on existing infrastructure. Pages 32 through 34, we have site plan and aerial photos. The home-based business is for the fabrication, which is the bending and cutting of sheet metal items, as well as the sale of personal protective equipment such as gloves, eyewear, and earplugs. If we go to page 39, we can see an example of some of the things that they fabricate, which is it will be in the 5,000 square foot shop, which will be used for light fabrication activities and bending and fabrication equipment such as a skid steer, Kubota tractor, hand tools, a shear press, and a bending machine. Currently, the plan is to manufacture small meter birdhouse enclosures on a part-time basis. No outdoor storage is required, and there will be no customer visits to the property. Portion of the building will be used for the storage of PPE, such as gloves for resale. This would be a small scale operation servicing local businesses if there's an interest. Again, no customer visits would be required. The residence will remain the primary use of the property. Go back to the site plan. And a portion of the shop will be dedicated for personal storage. A DP was issued for a 728 square foot residence, which has been placed on site, which will be occupied by the operator of the business. To assist with site screening and as part of the acreage development, a shelter belt of trees has been planted on the north, south, and west boundaries of the parcel to screen the site with a mix of trees that are 12 to 15 feet high. Along the east boundary, there is a number of existing trees along the WID property. Reasons for recommendation. LUB policy 8.15 stipulates that the HBB should not significantly change the external appearance of the buildings or land to the point where the primary residential use is not apparent. The 5,000 square foot shop is significantly larger than the manufactured dwelling recently moved on site. However, the applicant has attempted to ensure the site will still resemble a residential acreage. The site will have no outdoor storage or business-related activities and no customer visits. Additionally, the applicant has planted a significant landscaping buffer around most of the site to provide a pleasing aesthetic typically found on a residential acreage. Staff's recommendation is found on page 26. It considered the following. The HBB is supported by the MDP, LUB, and is located very close to the Goldfinch Industrial Area Structure Plan, so it would not stand out as a relatively non-intrusive industrial use. No concerns were raised from county staff. No written concerns were raised from surrounding landowners. The applicant spoke to his two closest neighbors, and both are pleased with the outcome and have further expressed they have no concerns. Staff is of the opinion that the application meets the criteria of an HBB3 and have recommended approval on that basis. So staff's recommendation is that MPC approve DP 2025-161, which includes the requirement for a fire inspection and confirmation that the approach has been developed to county standards. The permit is to be issued for a 2-year term. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Suzanne. MPC's wishes. Yes, Commissioner Bigger.
I'll move that the Municipal Planning Commission approve DP 2025-161 for a home-based type, business type 3, subject to the following conditions from 1 to 15.
Thank you. Discussion. Yes, Commissioner Bigger.
The 2-year term, and so it comes back to MPC to be approved again.
If the applicant submits an application prior to expiry and we have not received any complaints, then staff can approve the renewal.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor? That is passed. We'll move on to 2.3, which is DP 2025-162.
The third application is for home-based business type 3 as well. It is for equipment rentals. The location plan is on page 49. It is located approximately 0.8 kilometers west of Strathmore, 0.8 kilometers north of Highway 1 on the east side of Range Road 255. Alberta Transportation was circulated, but they said the development will not cause any concern for ongoing highway operation or future highway expansion, so they issued an exemption from the permit requirements. The town of Strathmore reviewed the application and said they reviewed the materials and have no concerns with respect to this application. Development Services also confirms that no circulation was required within the town of Strathmore's boundaries. The WID said they had no concerns. Internally, we circulated to staff. Planning said that the subject lands are within the plan area established in the intermunicipal development plan between the town of Strathmore and Wheatland County. and the subject lands are identified as a future business area. The proposal appears to align with the commercial objectives of the Wheatland County MDP, and the proposal aligns with Policy 3.7, which supports home-based businesses that accommodates small, low-risk, low-intensity developments. Operations and no upgrades are required to the transportation network or approach, and any signage is to be installed on private property outside the road right-of-way and must not create sightline issues. Agriculture and Environment said there is a potential of a small loss of agricultural land. Pages 50 to 53, we have the site plan and aerial photos. So the details of the application is that it is for a business that will specialize in the rental of compact construction equipment such as skid steers, mini excavators, water pumps, compactors, and related attachments. On-site machinery maintenance will consist of basic inspection and cleaning. Equipment will be cleaned before storage to avoid buildup of mud or debris, and the engines will not be left running unnecessarily. The current application does not include the construction of a building, but one may be added in the future pending development permit approval. So the proposal is to store the equipment, I'll zoom in here, just in this gravel pad area, mostly on the north side and the east side, maintaining a 50-foot setback on the south side. Additionally, a variety of trees and shrubs will be planted along the west side of the fence facing the road, and an existing row of lilacs borders the southern boundary of the parcel, and additional trees will be planted on the south side as well. Business will be operated by a single operator who resides on the parcel with potential to hire 2 additional employees as required. There is adequate on-site parking and a driveway space for 6 vehicles without encroaching on public roads. The parcel is surrounded predominantly, I'll just go to the aerial photo on page, there we go, page 53, by a mix of agricultural and residential uses. There is some existing commercial development nearby with a tack and feed store to the west and a veterinary clinic to the east. It is approximately 0.8 kilometers west of the town of Strathmore boundary and is within the future business area in the Wheatland Strathmore IDP as identified on page 54. So there's the IDP boundary, and here's the parcel in question. Now we did receive 1 circulation response, which has been attached to the report. The respondent had concerns that were not specific to this particular business, but more related to any business operating north of Highway 1. They had concerns with that. So staff have recommended the alignment of the application with the IDP, MDP, and LUB has been outlined in the relevant policies, practice, and legislation. Staff's recommendation is found on page 43. We considered that no concerns were raised from county staff. 1 concern was raised from a surrounding landowner, which was not opposed to this specific business, but to any business in the area. Staff note that an HBB is supported by the MDP, LUB, and the IDP as a future business area. The business is a significant distance from the range road, and the parcel has existing screening along the south side and will plant additional screening. The remainder of the 30-acre parcel is still usable for agricultural purposes. So staff is of the opinion that the application meets the criteria of an HBB3 and have recommended approval on that basis. Staff's recommendation is subject to the conditions noted, which include the construction of a gravel storage pad, and the permit is to be issued for a 2-year term. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. I'll move that the Municipal Planning Commission approve DP 2025-162 for a home-based business type 3, subject to conditions 1 through 13. Discussion. Yes, Commissioner LaBrie.
I have a question just kind of in response to the letter of opposition. So in our comments, it says expansion of the business would require approval from the development authority. What would expansion of the business entail? Like if they, what would they need to do to have to come back to us?
When they decide to construct a building, if they decide to, that would be one thing. If they want to increase their numbers that they propose within their application, or it just is growing a lot faster than what they anticipated, then we'd bring it back.
Kind of customer visits or that kind of thing, like if they have more people coming to their property, things like that.
Yes.
Yep, okay. And then just one other thing that I noticed, in the conditions, it says operations Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, but in our description, it talks about Monday to Saturday.
Oh.
Do we mean to do that, or just want to make sure?
Yes, that's probably an error on my part. It probably should be Monday to Saturday. We could make that change.
Very good questions. Any more discussion? Yes, Commissioner Kester.
I somewhat agree with the letter. The row of acreages are predominantly acreages. They've been like that for I don't know how many years. And this is that gravel storage site's almost an acre big. I haven't figured it out, but it's got to be approaching. It's the amount of employees, it's approaching the limit of a type 3. And being that this will be a departure from what has been traditionally there, I can't really approve this in its present form. I would be much happier for the size of this project if it would do land redesignation, and there could be a public hearing, and the residents, if there was any more concerns, or they would have a voice in a meeting setting to determine if this is what they want the future there. Because once you get one in, precedent set. So I kind of support this. I would support land use change as a redesignation, which would include public hearing. I think the residents should have a voice in this decision.
Thank you. Question to administration. There's on that road, probably been 40 years since those 40 acres subdivisions have been there. I was in the area when they first started. Question, they're basically, this new business is basically gone through the same steps that the livestock feed business on the corner of number 1 and 254 have went through?
Through the chair, that application, they did rezone for the tack and feed business that's there. Yep, they did rezone to rural business.
Thank you. Yes.
So I just wanted to have another comment, I guess. I'm going to support this because it does fit the criteria of our home-based business type 3, and the fact that they would have to come back for redesignation if the business was to get any bigger than they have put into their proposal. I think if it fits our definition of home-based business, we should allow it to be a home-based business until it's not.
Any more discussion? Seeing and hearing none, I will call the vote. All in favor? Opposed? That is passed. We'll move on to subdivision applications. 3.1 SD 2025-010.
I just wanted to say one more thing.
Okay.
I know there'll be some changes the next time MPC meets in November, and I just wanted to say it's been a pleasure working with all of you, and I appreciate all the work you've done. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you going to have equally as glowing stuff to say about us, Taylor?
That comment. Here, here. Good morning, MPC. Taylor Felt with the county's Planning and Development Services team here presenting subdivision application SD 2025-010 for MPC's consideration. Referring to page 66 of the agenda package, the lands subject to this boundary adjustment proposal are located immediately east of the hamlet of Rosebud. The intent of the application is to adjust the boundaries between 4 parcels by consolidating a portion of a closed road allowance, which is labeled as Lot 3 on the boundary adjustment plan I have up on the screen here, transferring a 7.74 acre portion of land from Lot 4 to Lot 1, and transferring a 0.96 acre portion of land from Lot 1 to Lot 2, resulting in 3 lots that are 47.59 acres. That will be proposed Lot 1. 110.75 acres, this is proposed Lot 2, and 145.45 acres, and this is proposed Lot 4. And just a bit of background on what's driving the application here. An existing oil and gas lease road that services a well site on Lot 2 is built over the northeastern portion of Lot 1. Adjusting the boundaries between Lots 1 and 2 will align with the existing lease road, placing it within 1 parcel rather than across 2. Lot 1 currently accesses Highway 840 through an existing laneway across Lot 4, and their access is secured by registered access easements at the moment. And realigning the boundaries between Lots 1 and 4 will provide Lot 1 with direct, independent access to the regional transportation network. In terms of service development and servicing, Lot 1 is developed with a dwelling and several accessory buildings, and servicing is provided by means of a water well and private sewage treatment system. Lot 1 currently accesses Highway 840 via Lot 4, as I mentioned. And Alberta Transportation and Economic Corridors requires the dedication by plan of survey of a service road area approximately 426.5 feet long and 98.43 feet wide, paralleling the existing access to the High Eagle Campground on the west side of Highway 840. Construction of the service road and the removal or relocation of the approaches is not required at this time, but dedicating the service road area now will allow for Highway 840 or the alignment of Highway 840 in the future, which will help improve public safety. Lots 2 and 4 are used as pasture land for livestock grazing and hay production. Lot 2 is accessed by an existing gravel approach from Township Road 272, and Lot 4 is accessed by 4 existing gravel approaches from Township Road 272. The county's transportation department noted that an inspection of the existing approaches from Township Road 272 will be required, and any improvements identified will need to be completed by the owner prior to the subdivision endorsement. A road acquisition agreement and easement for construction and maintenance of public works is required to be registered on Lot 4 to support future county road improvement and expansion projects. And I'll note now, in the conditions, number 5 and 6, the lot numbers have been amended and should read Lot 4. I'll bring up the amended conditions at the end of the presentation just so that everybody has a chance to look at them there. And in accordance with the Municipal Government Act, dedication of municipal reserves is not required at this time, as each resulting lot will be greater than 39.5 acres in size and used for agricultural purposes. The proposal complies with the Hamlet of Cheadle Area Structure Plan and generally aligns with the Municipal Development Plan, specifically the agricultural policies found in Section 3. The application will not facilitate the creation of a new parcel, rather it's intended to adjust the boundaries to provide access to the existing developments. Hamlet of Rosebud, thank you. My apologies. I saw eyebrows from somebody else there. Now I got it. My apologies. Landowners within 1 mile of the subject lands and third-party agencies were notified of the proposal, and comments have been included in the package starting on page 61. And administration is making the recommendation that MPC approve the application subject to conditions 1 through 6, which have been amended and I have provided on the screen here. You'll note the only change is the lot number should be lot 4 in conditions 5 and 6. And that concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Taylor. MPC's wishes? Yes, Commissioner Kester.
Move that Municipal Planning Commission approve subdivision application SD 2025-010, subject to the following conditions, 1 through 6, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, 1 through 6.
Thank you. Any discussion?
I guess as amended on the screen, that clarification on lot 4 is included.
Thank you for that correction. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor? That is passed. Move on to 3.2, subdivision 2025-014.
And I will follow on Suzanne's back there. It's been a pleasure working with all of you. Look forward to seeing some of you guys over the next 4 years as well.
Thank you very much. Sorry, just have a question. Did we actually amend that DP? We're going back to, yeah. Yeah.
So just, sorry, going back to that DP with the business hours being in the conditions, it said Monday to Friday, but it was meant to be Monday to Saturday. We noted it, but we never amended it. I don't know if we want to go back and revisit that while we're still here.
We should, through the chair to the commission, for the record, we should correct that.
So can we do that right now then?
Yes, yes, we could. It just was having them pull it back up and then correct it just so that it's on the record, not just visually when she issues the DP.
Good catch, Commissioner LaPrice. So we'll temporarily go back to DP 2025-162. Just
162.
From a procedure process, would we do a motion to reconsider and then amend the motion? So anyone who was on the prevailing side can move a motion to reconsider, and then that will just basically bring the matter back onto the floor. We can resume debate. Somebody can move an amendment, and then we can.
Okay. So I'll move to reconsider the motion on DP 2025-162.
I could just open up for any discussion and then, okay, I will call the vote to reconsider the motion. All in favor? That is passed. And now we will have an amendment to that, to DP which would be item number, condition number 10, which would be the hours of operation shall be Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. throughout the year. I will call the vote on that amendment. All in favor? That is passed. Thank you. I think, does that, sorry? Oh, sorry. Any opposition? Thank you. That is passed. Thank you. We'll go back, so that takes care of the development permit, so we'll start off on SD 2025-014. Take it away, Jessica.
Good morning. Jessica Russell presenting subdivision application ST 2025-014 to create, adjust the boundaries of the parcels within the southwest quarter of Section 7, Township 23, Range 24, west of the 4th Meridian. The land location map may be found on page 77 of the agenda package. The lands are located 3.5 kilometers southwest of the hamlet of Nameka, 800 meters south of the intersection of Range Road 250 and Township Road 232. Adjacent land uses are predominantly agriculture, farmsteads, and country residential. The application proposes to adjust the boundaries between Lot 2, Block 3, Plan 1312568, and a portion of Southwest 7, 2324 west of the 4th Meridian. The proposed boundary adjustment results in a plus or minus 2.43 hectare parcel and a plus or minus 25.05 hectare parcel. Lot 1 is developed with a dwelling and accessory buildings serviced by on-site private water and wastewater systems. The lot is accessed by an existing gravel approach from Range Road 250 to the west. Lot 2 is developed with a farmstead and accessory building serviced by existing water and wastewater servicing infrastructure. The lot is accessed by a separate existing gravel approach from Range Road 250 to the west. The proposal is consistent with the agricultural objectives within the MDP, which protects and minimizes the fragmentation of existing agricultural lands. Pursuant to Policy 3.1.2.6 to 3.1.2.8, the proposal was evaluated against the criteria for subdivision in Policies 3.1.2.5A to H. Policy 3.1.2.5A states that the proposed parcel shall not cause a quarter section to exceed the maximum non-agricultural area of a quarter section of 20 acres. The proposal exceeds the 20-acre maximum non-agricultural area of a quarter section. However, Lot 1 is within an existing parcel, which reflects the existing conditions of the land and minimizes the impact to agricultural areas by avoiding cultivated areas, consistent with Policies 3.1.2.5G and 3.1.2.5H. There are currently 6 parcels within the quarter section. The application proposes a boundary adjustment, which does not result in any new titles created and is therefore consistent with Policy 3.1.2.8b. Regarding the land use bylaw, lots 1 and 2 are consistent with the site regulations and parcel sizes within the Agriculture General District, which is an appropriate district for those proposed uses. Municipal reserve dedication is required for a plus or minus 2.5 acre portion of land being added to Lot 1, as the relatively small size of the parcel limits further subdivision and development in the future. Municipal reserve dedication for the existing Lot 1, totaling plus or minus 3.5 acres, was provided during a previous subdivision. In accordance with the Municipal Government Act, municipal reserve dedication is not required for Lot 2, as it is greater than 16 hectares in size and used for agricultural purposes. Notification of the subdivision application was circulated to external agencies, internal departments, and adjacent landowners during a 30-day circulation period from June 26 to June 20, 2025. Comments received from external agencies and internal departments are summarized within the report. Administration received no responses from adjacent landowners. Administration is recommending that the Municipal Planning Commission approve subdivision application SD 2025-014, subject to the conditions noted in the planning report. Thank you.
Thank you. MPC's wishes. Yes, Commissioner Link.
I move that the Municipal Planning Commission approve subdivision application SD 2025-014, subject to the conditions included in the report.
Thank you. Discussion. Yes, Commissioner Kester.
Lot 1, I'm guessing, already paid municipal reserve?
Yes, it did.
It's just Lot 1A then. That's
Yes, yeah, the portion being added into Lot 1.
okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing and hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor? That is passed. That brings us to the close of this session. I just want to say before I call an adjournment, it's been not sure what happens in the future because I cannot look into the future, but it's been a pleasure being the chair of this group, and good luck, everybody, going forward. And I adjourn this meeting.